The 1,000 ruler who had arrested Paulo in the riot brought him before the council of the Yehudim. Acts chapter 23. And Paulo, looking steadfastly on the council, said, Men, brothers, I have lived before the God in all good conscience until this day. And the high priest Hananiah commanded them that stood by him to smite him on the mouth. Then said Paulo to him, The God is being about to be smiting thee, thou whited wall, and sittest thou to judge me according to the law, and commandest me to be smitten contrary to the law? And they that stood by said, Revilest thou the God's high priest? And Paulo said, I knew not, brothers, that he who commanded was high priest. For it is written, Thou shalt not speak evil of a ruler of thy people. But when Paulo perceived that the one part was Saduqaya and the other Parishaya, he cried out in the council, Men, brothers, I am a Parishai, a son of Parishaya, concerning a hope and a resurrection of dead ones I am called into question. And when he had so said, there arose a dissension between the Parishaya and the Saduqaya, and the assembly was divided. For Saduqaya are saying a resurrection not to be being, neither messenger nor spirit, but the Parishaya are confessing both resurrection and spirits. And there arose a great clamor, and some of the scribes of the Parishaya part stood up and strove, saying, We find no evil in this man. And what if a spirit hath spoken to him, or a messenger? And when there arose a great dissension, the 1,000 ruler, fearing lest Paulo should be torn in pieces by them, commanded the soldiers to go down and take him by force from among them, and bring him into the castle. And the night following the Lord stood by him, and said, Be of good cheer, for as thou hast testified concerning me at Jerusalem, so must thou bear witness also at Rome. And when it was day, the Yehudim banded together and bound themselves under a curse, saying that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paulo. And they were more than 40 that made this conspiracy. And they came to the chief priests and the elders and said, We have bound ourselves under a great curse to taste nothing until we have killed Paulo. Now therefore do ye with the council signify to the 1,000 ruler that he bring him down to you, as though ye would judge of his case more exactly. And we, before he comes near, are ready to slay him. But Paulo's sister's son heard of their lying in wait, and he came and entered into the castle and told Paulo. And Paulo called to him one of the 100 rulers and said, Bring this young man to the 1,000 ruler, for he hath something to tell him. So he took him and brought him to the 1,000 ruler, and saith, Paulo the prisoner called me to him, and asked me to bring this young man to thee, who hath something to say to thee. And the 1,000 ruler took him by the hand, and going aside asked him privately, What is it that thou hast to tell me? And he said, The Yehudim have agreed to ask thee to bring down Paulo tomorrow to the council, as though thou wouldst inquire somewhat more exactly concerning him. Do not thou therefore yield to them, For there lie in wait for him of them more than 40 men, who have bound themselves under a curse, neither to eat nor to drink, till they have slain him. And now are they ready, looking for the promise from thee. So the 1,000 ruler let the young man go, charging him, Tell no man that thou hast signified these things to me. And he called to him 2 of the 100 rulers, and said, Make ready 200 soldiers to go as far as Caesarea, and horsemen 70, and spearmen 200, at the 3rd hour of the night. And he bade them provide beasts, that they might set Paulu thereon, and bring him safe to Felix the governor. And he wrote a letter after this form: Claudiu Lucias, to the most excellent governor Felix, greeting. This man was seized by the Yehudim, and was about to be slain of them, when I came upon them with the soldiers and rescued him, having learned that he is a Romano. Desiring also to know the cause for what reason they accused him, I brought him down to their council, whom I found to be accused about questions of their law, but to have nothing laid to his charge worthy of death or of bonds. And when it was shown to me that there would be a plot against the man, I sent him to thee forthwith, charging his accusers also to speak against him before thee. So the soldiers, as it was commanded them, took Paulu, and brought him by night into the Antipatrida. But on the morrow they left the horsemen to go with him, and returned to the castle. And they, when they came to Caesarea, and delivered the letter to the governor, presented Paulu also before him. And when he had read it, he asked of what province he was. And when he understood that he was of Cilicia, I will hear thee fully, said he, when thy accusers also are come. And he commanded him to be kept in Herodes' palace.